So I'm sitting here in my car. I didn't get to shoot my video inside my house because today has been a pretty busy day. This one is a pretty exceptional wedding because I have a lot of services that's going on. This is for Gretchen and Andrès. I'm heading over to the Grandview in Poughkeepsie in the tent today. Nice. It's like 74, 75 degrees right now. It's supposed to get up to 80. Just some nice breezes going on. So I think today's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day for all this. But definitely some additional things going on today. I had to hire a photo booth to come in. We're doing a monogram. And I'm also doing my my basic dance light package, which surprisingly today I was going through all my stuff and packing up the van. I always kind of check all my bags and everything, and lo and behold, I found my sound switch dongle inside one of the bags, and I've been looking for this for ages. Anytime I've been doing lighting, which really isn't that often. You've seen the majority of my gig logs. I don't get many lighting requests. But when I'm using my Wash FXs, I want a little bit more control than just the bass microphone. It's okay, but it's not great. And I just so happened to run into the dongle. So I spent a good hour today re-downloading the software, getting everything synced up, adding the fixtures within SoundSwitch, and getting that all staged. So at least now, even with my most basic lighting package, I do have some level of control with it. So that's in play today. So that took up a good chunk of my morning getting that ready and all that. But it's going to be a really great day. I get to work with people that I've worked with in the past, which is always awesome. Lisa Zero, who I've worked with for officiating, she's going to be there. Then I've got Pioneer Media doing both photography and video, and we go back a good few years now. We cut our teeth working together at one of my most crazy weddings that I've worked with. It's definitely one of those story time things I still need to do one of these days. A few people in my close circle know, but man, that was just a bonkers wedding from the perspective of the venue itself. One of these days I'll do a story time on that. But anyway, so back to today. We got all that going on, and I'm all packed up, ready to go. One thing I really think I need to do now that I've been wearing my glasses for this year, as opposed to wearing the contacts, I either need to get back to the eye doctor to see if there's anything else they could do with my contact-wise to be able to at least, for the day, maybe a stronger pair, or I might get one without transitions. Because while it's nice for driving and all that, to keep, I do have light sensitivities to begin with, so it's nice to keep that down. I don't know if it's necessarily the best look at a wedding, so I might have to either buy a new pair of, nice glasses without the transitions, or go with another pair of contacts that are maybe a little bit, quote unquote, extra strong, just so I can see those details that I can't quite make out anymore. But that's something I have to go through for the year. To top all this off, just a couple days ago I went to pick up my dry cleaning. They lost one of my pairs of pants and my vests. And I've got COVID weight that I'm still dealing with. I'm still trying to shed some of this weight that I put on in 2020, and it's slowly getting off, but it's going to take a while. So all my great wardrobe that I bought in 2019 I still can't wear. So I have my my heavier set clothes that I have, and now one of them disappeared. So I had to go to Men's Warehouse, go get a new pair of pants tailored for that. Did that yesterday. I also had a small basement flood because of all the rains that happened. And it just so happened that my stand got caught in the water. Everything else I had above on wheels, and I thought I had my stand as well, but I either put it on the ground or it fell down off to it. There's some slight warping on it. It's nothing that the clients can see, but it's definitely something that I'm aware of now. So now I might have to do a whole new setup for that, debating what I might do. I've had a lot of ideas. I don't know how much of time investment I want to put in that for the rest of this season to switch that up, but we'll see how everything goes. A lot of that was dependent on getting a new vehicle. I'm trying to basically, run the wheels off of this. I have now almost 139,000 on the odometer. It still could go for a while, but it might not. So I got to keep those things in mind. But if I have a new city van or something different, that might change up what my setup would end up being. But it's 1:30 now. It's time to hit the road, and we'll see you guys at the Grandview. All right, so about an hour in to get all this set up. Like I said, I did have some additional things in here. I've got my Wash FXs that I mentioned. I found my sound switch dongle for it, so testing those out now. I also have a projector that I'm projecting. You're not going to be able to see it too well because it's still a little bit light out, but hey, why not? Let's try to come up over here. It's kind of hard to see from this angle and also the light, so I'll be messing with that a little more. I might do a floor projection instead. So I'm going to tweak that out a little bit. Got my ceremony set up over here. I'm going to set up over there in just a couple moments, and then I'm ready to go. It's 3:16, so I still got about an hour 45 till ceremony starts. So I always like to come in early regardless. It gives me more breathing room. Just gives me more time to work out any kinks, anything that might go wrong. I remember the second wedding of the year, my Wi-Fi on the reception rigs just wasn't working out. I ended up flashing the firmware on it. Everything was fine after that. But just, you never know the little things that can come up, and you want to kind of tweak things out and make things, work to the best of their ability. So the more time you have, the better off. So I'm going to head out over outside and get ceremony set up. But anyways, this is a pretty substantial crowd. I want to say we're looking at about 160, I think. Might have been 150 for the call. I can't quite remember the number on this one. But this is actually pretty packed, even more so. A lot of times the videographers and the photographers like to use, these gaps to run back and forth. It's a little bit tighter than normal. They can still get through, but it'll definitely be a little bit more of a challenge. Now, the way I get things set up at this venue, because in the tent, things are really close in approximation, I now just have my rig set up right over here. So it's a pretty clear shot. It's obstructed by the tent itself, and it makes for some really good signal. It makes for little potential for artifacts. Just want to point just the amazing views that you get out here.
And for the reason we're here today, get out of your seats, everybody, and give it up for Mr. and Mrs. Salcedo!
Falling in love with you. Deep inside your soul. Oh, but wow, he's the greatest dancer.
everybody. Let's give it up one more time for Gretchen and Andrès.
So now it's time for the recap of Gretchen and Andrès' wedding. Now, this is admittedly a few days after, and I've been debating whether to publish this gig log or not. There was some video that I shot that I really wasn't happy with the quality with. I was actually doing an instructional piece on how I do my ceremony setup, and truth be told, the angle and everything made me just not look my best, and I decided to scrap that. I was trying to figure out, do I find some ways to crop it or whatnot, and I just decided, it's just not going to work in this. And this is the unfortunate truth of trying to do so much on your own that, it's hard to kind of, you see yourself in frame and you try to, record everything to the best of your ability, and sometimes wholesale things just have to get removed. But so there was intended to have an instructional piece of how I do everything for my ceremony rig, and I think I'm just going to do a whole separate video on that specific to that topic. I'm going to have to do that relatively soon, I think. Hope to also do a 2021 setup. I actually do have something coming up soon, though. I want to bring up in a future video. But the night went really well. This is a venue that I really love. How beautiful the view is, but there are some negatives. The biggest negative is the sound of the tent. Now, truth be told, this is a big sound ordinance issue that the owners have to deal with. There are neighbors literally right next to it. But I do think that they could do better for the DJs by, there are definite creative ways that we could really do better sound inside of this. So I do have one more event coming up very soon at the tent. Then I need to start to really just contemplate, what are good future solutions, maybe a silent disco, maybe some other things. But, I do, at least me, as much as I like to present the sound and the style and everything that I present, that there needs to be an improvement at this particular location, at least for myself. But all that being said, the couple was very happy. Did run into a technical glitch with the photo booth. A lot of things just totally out of the control of the photo booth owners, but is something that the couple did recognize as a potential issue. And hopefully we'll have that resolved relatively soon. The reality of this all is I don't attract the type of couples that go with a lot of add-ons. I get a couple a year, usually 1 or 2 photo booths a year, maybe 3 or 4 lighting, but the majority of my couples just go for my audio services, mainly because of just the type of personalities that they have. So it's something I've consistently contemplated what to do for future years, what do I offer and whatnot. But it is what it is. The night is done. Couple again was really happy with as much of everything that I had in my control as possible, and that's all that really matters. And you just have to figure out solutions if things don't work 100% the way that you want to, be it built-in sound, be it dealing with technical things that are out of your control. Are there things that you can do for future things? But otherwise, I am ready for my next wedding. Have a couple more coming up before the DJ Expo in Atlantic City. It's been way too long since I've seen a lot of my peers, and it just feels good to have some level of normalcy in this. I don't know if masks are going to be in order and whatnot. There's some disturbing news of things are being kind of on rise, especially in the South right now. My guess is by the time we hit Atlantic City, this could end up being an issue, but we'll see how it all plays out. I'm personally vaccinated, so is the rest of my family, so I'm a little less concerned if for some reason I were to get it, that we would have any major health issues that we have to deal with. But of course, I don't want to spread it to anybody or whatnot. So get vaccinated, everybody. That's my 2 cents on that. But going to end this for now. See you on the next gig log. I hope everybody's enjoyed. Be well, everybody.